All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Now, little does Kevin know, but I'm guessing you ski.
Not well.
But you try.
I tried. I'm that type of person that you don't want on the hill with you because I have one speed and one speed only.
Fast.
Fast.
Yeah.
Like mate with the orange fence kind of fast.
I'm really good at the après ski.
Very
Yes,
nice.
so I will watch my daughter with her instructor or my husband. I don't care. But I will watch her from inside drinking my, hot chocolate.
That's a refined talent, though.
It is.
Like
I've been practicing for years. Yesterday was a pretty active day, but it's going to drop over the weekend. I'll let you know how cold it's going to get. But first, here's Chrissy.
Thanks so much, Emily. And the good news is after the flooding, really only one problem spot on the TTC, the 73 Royal York diverting southbound, and that's due to leftover flooding at Royal York and Dundas. As for the drive, I'm down, so use the Beat the Traffic app to divert around that. And as for how cold it will get, over to you, Emily.
Well, temperatures today still above our seasonal average because we still have that southerly flow. But by tonight, notice how our winds are starting to shift. It is going to be below our seasonal average for tomorrow. We'll start off fairly wet and windy, but by the afternoon, we'll start to see a bit of a clearing trend. High pressure moves in for Sunday, but so do the cold temperatures. We're actually only going to see a daytime high of 9.
Thanks so much for that, Emily. A look around the globe in force of nature. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Chrissy Van, in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up, Emily Vukovic will have full forecast details. And in the show, we'll be joined by Kevin Yard at the Toronto Snow Show. But first, Waterfront Marathon is this weekend. You can visit beatthetraffic.com. Visit the news section, and that will tell you about all the closures. But as for how the marathon will be weather-wise, I'll send it over to you, Emily.
Well, today and into tomorrow, we still have that risk of showers. It's that same cutoff low, unsettled conditions, less than 10 millimeters of rain, but it could get persistent at times. We are going to be seeing southerly winds today, temperatures still above our seasonal average, but by tonight, shifting direction behind this trough to more of a northerly flow, which means our temperatures are going to be dropping starting tomorrow. We're going to see daytime highs below our seasonal average. And then on Sunday, finally, we're actually going to be seeing a bit of high pressure move into our area, which is something we haven't seen in a long time, but temperatures cool. By Monday, area of low pressure moves into the area, bringing its rain to start off next week. 10 degrees for tomorrow, only a daytime high of 9 for the marathon that's happening on Sunday, but I think that's good for the runners. And then more rain coming into the GTA early next week. Kevin, you must feel like a dinosaur today. You're learning all the lingo from the little kids. Way cool. What did he say earlier? Stoked?
Yes, he
so
did.
Stoked, dude.
But it's nice. It's nice to see him using the lingo. And at first, when he had those goggles on, I walked right up to the screen. And I was like, do those sparkle? They were very...
We think you should find some glitter glasses, Kevin.
Yes.
We do. Make it a little more girly, Well, it's a good time at the snow show. It's happening all weekend long. Yesterday, the weather in Toronto took us, and I believe, Chrissy, that we still have one issue this morning due to the flooding last night, correct?
Yes, Emily. Luckily, not more than that. The 73 Royal York has been diverting southbound at Dundas due to leftover flooding, but the major routes not impacted. Visit beatthetraffic.com. Use the news tab, and that will show you all the closures for the weekend.
Rain on the way, unsettled conditions for today and into tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be dropping significantly as well. We stay above seasonal today with those southerly flows, but by tonight, wind shifting direction to a northwesterly flow, which means much cooler air is on the way, but high pressure is going to be moving in for Sunday. So we'll finally see a little bit of sunshine, but temperatures quite cool for Sunday for the marathon, only a high of 9 degrees.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Next time, I want to see you on that skateboard. Now, as for things on the road, some good news. The Dundas and Royal York closure, that has reopened, so TTC Route 73 back to regular routing. In more good news, we had some lingering construction on the QEW app. We'll have details on the Toronto Waterfront Marathon closures in place for the weekend.
It's Friday. It is the 17th of October, and Hurricane Gonzalo is a big story for us. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. Right now, the exact positioning of Hurricane Gonzalo is about 300 kilometers south of Bermuda. It is expected to make a direct hit. Right now, it's a Category 4 storm. Sustained winds are at about 215 kilometers an hour. It's moving north-northeast at 22 kilometers an hour. The trajectory has it making a direct hit to Bermuda, and then it's on its way toward Atlantic Canada. So that's where it starts certainly becomes more of our story. We do have teams on standby going out to Atlantic Canada to see the impact of this system. It's going to be windy and wet regardless, so stay with us here at the Weather Network for frequent updates if you do have travel plans. Our story throughout the GTA, well, it's been wet, and we saw some interesting things in the sky yesterday. And a few drivers. The good news is that things look as though to be cleaned up this morning. Unsettled conditions again today, showers on and off, a lot of cloud cover, and temperatures are going to be cooler just in time for the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up, but first I'm going to turn things over to Chrissy Van for an update on your commute.
Thanks so much, Emily. And exactly that. Luckily, no lingering delays because of that flooding. Lawrence Station is open, and as well, the 73 Royal York bus with the TTC has resumed regular routing. Coming up, I'll have details on the Gardner and DVP Drive and closures for the Toronto waterfront.
Nice.
Looking good there, Kevin. That's exactly what I need myself. Haven't really attempted the snowboarding, but this year for sure. Now, one thing that I do want you to know about for Sunday, the Scotiabank Waterfront Marathon taking place. There are road closures taking place on the Lakeshore, Queen, and Eastern. Full details at beatthetraffic.com under the News tab. Bring up more traffic details, and we'll check back in with Kevin Yard.
All right, Kevin, we want you to put your money where your mouth is.
Yes,
Let's see it.
He was on this sort of learn to snowboard thing in the last hit there.
He
so,
was.
you know, why not take the ramp?
Come on, Kevin, let's do it. You got to do what are they called when you get it,
I have no idea. I just always hope that I make it down in one piece.
Right, I suppose. Okay, Kevin, give it a shot. Well, yesterday was a wild weather day for the city of Toronto. Tonight's dropping to 9. Temperatures are really cooling off for the weekend. I'll have those details just ahead, but first, here's Chrissy with traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. Luckily, no lingering delays from the flooding of last night. Looking at the drive, of course, Emily, there will be delays this weekend due to the Toronto Marathon. Details on that are at beatthetraffic.com.
Not a lot of rain today and into tomorrow, but like I mentioned earlier, we still could see some localized heavy downpours, drizzle, showers, on and off throughout the day today. Quite a bit of cloud cover, may see a peek of the sun, but it looks as though it's going to be fairly wet this afternoon, this evening, and in through the overnight. Winds are going to shift direction, which means we are going to get a pretty intense cool down behind that trough. High pressure moving in for Sunday, which is great news. We haven't seen sunshine in a long time, at least more consistent sunshine. New system coming in to start next week. Bundle up if you're heading out on Sunday. It's only a high of 9.
Thanks so much for that look around the globe, Emily. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm Chrissy Van in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up in the show, we'll join Emily Vukovic with full forecast details and check in with Kevin Yard at the Toronto Snow Show. He's currently at the Pro-Am Rail Jam. But as for getting around the GTA, well, epic.com, go under the News tab, and all the details you need are there. But as for how the weather will shape up this weekend, over to you, Emily.
Thanks, Chrissy. Well, we're still going to see unsettled conditions, unfortunately, for the next 24 to 48 hours with the same cutoff low. We're going to see quite a bit of cloud cover today, showers on and off, but temperatures will be relatively mild. We're looking at a southerly flow still. When this trough moves through the overnight, we'll see some showers and then much cooler winds behind it coming in from the northwest. Temperatures are going to be quite cool throughout the day tomorrow, and then for Sunday, we're actually going to see some high pressure. It's been a while since we've seen that, so that's good news for us. We're going to see some sunshine, but Monday, new system comes in, starts off giving us a bit of a wet morning commute and a wet Tuesday morning commute as well. If you like sunshine, get out on Sunday. It's your best chance of seeing some. 9 degrees, however, it is going to be a little chilly for the Waterfront Marathon. Spectators, bundle up, runners. I'm sure you're going to love the conditions. Kevin, I'll give you $20 if you strap on a snowboard right now and go up the hill and come down for us on our next hit.
I think that's an excellent. I will match that bet.
$40, Kevin.
There you
$40 to do that.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it for $40.
No.
No chance.
Might cost more to fix whatever's broken after that. So
I suppose. All right. Well, yesterday we had a very active weather day for the city of Toronto. We saw gloomy conditions, and most of that water has now receded, and areas are cleaning up. We'll talk about the weekend forecast, let you know about our temperatures. But first, here's Chrissy with traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. And I really feel like today's commute is quite backwards. We started off with so many problem spots. Of course, we had a couple problems left over from the flooding, but now closure information for the Toronto Waterfront Marathon. But first, with the weekend forecast, Emily.
Thanks, Chrissy. Well, we do have more unsettled conditions on the way for today and into tomorrow, but not a significant amount of rainfall. We've got southerly winds, Temperatures above our seasonal average until tonight. That's when the winds will shift to more of a northerly flow, which means we are going to see a much cooler day tomorrow. And then Sunday, even though we have high pressure moving into place, we have got cold air coming with it. New low moves in on Monday, starting the work week off with a little bit of wet weather. Only 9 degrees on Monday, but some sunshine.
Thanks so much for that. Lots to see at the Ski and Snow Show this weekend. And of course, some of the personalities from here at the Weather Network will be present, so be sure to stop by and say hello. Now, looking at the drive, well, it's been a little bit of a mess this morning at the Up and Go. Now, the Toronto Marathon is on Sunday. Details are at beatthetraffic.com. Under the news tab for closures coming up, we'll check back in with Kevin Yard. Thanks so much for that, Emily. And well, the drive this morning for travelers on the QEW has been none too nice, but I do have good news yet again. Coming up, we'll be joined by Kevin Yard at the Toronto Ski Show, so keep it here to find out what he's up to.
Just turn around, a little turn.
Well, thank you so much for that, Kevin. If only traffic was as fun as what you're having at the Toronto Ski and Snow Show. Now, looking at the roads, we now have a fresh problem coming out of the east end of the city, as well have details on how you can find out more information on the closures for this weekend's Toronto Waterfront Marathon.
Very cool idea, but I don't know if I'd call it a leash.
Yeah, no.
My dog has a leash.
That is true. Although, if you'd seen me on a ski hill, you would see why something like that is warranted. Rein me in.
Yeah, but I know our producer said that he needs it for his wife next time she goes skiing. Sorry. She might be watching. Okay, well, off to the snow. We're not thinking about snow just yet. The rain expected today will not be that intense. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, let's head over to Chrissy for traffic.
Thanks so much, Emily. And right off the top, I do want to mention that it's the Scotiabank Toronto Waterfront Marathon taking place on Sunday. So to find out the road closures, visit beatthetraffic.com under the news tab. A full article there, as it is going to be impacting the Lakeshore Queen as well as Eastern. Now, well, coming up, we'll check out the Gardner. But first, for the weekend forecast, over to you, Emily.
Well, we are going to be seeing showers on and off throughout the day today. A lot of cloud cover as well. We do have the chance to see a little bit of sunshine, but for the most part, it is going to be a fairly gloomy day today and into tomorrow. Winds are going to shift direction. We're going to start to see our temperatures drop. Finally, by Sunday, we'll get high pressure in our area, which means we will see some sunshine, but temperatures will be cool on Sunday, only a daytime high of 9.
Thanks, Emily, for that look around the globe in force of nature. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Chrissy Van in for Tom Reynolds. Coming up, we'll have Emily Vukovic with full forecast details. But first, the roads. They have been quite a traffic headache throughout the day. And as a result, there are closures on the Lakeshore as well as Eastern and Queen. For all the details on that, go to beatthetraffic.com. You can find all the information at the news tab. You can also download the Beat the Traffic app on iTunes and Google Play for the latest details. For the weekend forecast, over to you, Emily.
Thanks, Chrissy. Well, we do have some rain moving in through the GTA today, but it's going to be very similar to yesterday and even more so the day before. It's really just unsettled. We've got that cutoff low. It's bringing in northwesterly winds by tonight. We're going to see a little bit of lake enhancement. I mean, it's not going to be a great day to be out and about. Tonight, grab an umbrella if you're heading out. If you're off to Oktoberfest tomorrow through Kitchener-Waterloo, it's going to be damp and it's going to be chilly. So make sure you dress for it. Tomorrow's the last day of the festival. High pressure moving in for Sunday. It's about time. We haven't seen high pressure in a long time. We haven't seen more consistent sunshine in a long time, but it's going to be cool. The Scotiabank Toronto Waterfront Marathon is this weekend. So if you're a spectator, bundle up. If you're a runner, you'll probably love the conditions. We're going to see a daytime high of 9 with a mix of sun and cloud. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 17th of October. And it's a beautiful day to be snowboarding. No, I'm kidding. But there is the snow show happening, and that's exactly what Kevin Yard's doing. He's watching people snowboard. Kevin, collectively, I raised like $40 to see you do it, and you're not going to do it, are you? All right, thanks so much, Kevin. See, I'm offering him money, but he just, I don't know if he'll do it. All right, well, yesterday was a fairly wild weather day through the city of Toronto. We did see a little bit of sunshine, but amount of rain, but very similar to yesterday. We could see a localized downpour, but for the most part, it is just going to be kind of dreary and gray and kind of drizzly. We are going to see quite a bit of cloud cover through much of southern Ontario. If you have travel plans this weekend, bring warm clothing wherever you're going because temperatures are going to be cooling down significantly. We've got northwesterly winds behind the trough tonight, and that is going to drop our temperatures for tomorrow and even more so into Sunday. But we do have high pressure moving in, which means we are going to be seeing a little bit of sunshine. That's something we haven't seen in a long time, that's for sure. New system coming in for the beginning of next week. Area of low pressure for Monday and into Tuesday. So your commute into work could be a little wet and your commute into work on Tuesday could be a little wet. This weekend, tomorrow marks the last day for Kitchener-Waterloo Oktoberfest. If you have not been, I suggest you do it. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. 10 degrees with showers, so bring an umbrella, and then 9 degrees on Sunday. So much cooler with those northwesterly winds, but decent conditions for runners that are going to be competing in the Scotiabank Waterfront Marathon. If you're a spectator, make sure you bundle up. And then we've got rain and below seasonal temperatures for next week. Good morning and thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is October the 17th, and every weekend in October we've got some really cool programming for you. And this Sunday we are going to be showcasing Angry Planet. Here's a preview of what you'll see. Catch that episode this Sunday, 7 and 10 p.m. It wasn't an awful day in Toronto yesterday, but it wasn't a great day either. We did see a peak of the sun by the afternoon, but by yesterday evening, noon, evening, and overnight, and tomorrow morning. We're not looking at a lot of rainfall, but the forecast could really be as similar to yesterday, where we could see a localized downpour. The winds are still going to be coming in from a southerly direction today, which means temperatures will be above seasonal, but by tonight they switch to a more northwesterly direction. So we are going to be seeing much cooler temperatures to kick off the weekend. We've got high pressure building in for Sunday, but it's going to be quite cool, but good for those of you that are going to be running in the Scotiabank Waterfront Marathon that's happening on Sunday. Make sure you check out the Beat the Traffic website for all the road closures. Area of low pressure moves in for Monday, which means more wet weather. So if you want to see some sunshine, my advice to you is to get out on Sunday, but make sure you bundle up because temperatures are certainly going to be below our seasonal average of 13. Well, temperatures are still relatively mild throughout the GTA in southern Ontario. This morning we're looking at 11 degrees through Hamilton and in through Toronto as well as through Oshawa. But because we still have that same cutoff low, it's being a bit of a nuisance. It wants to continue to bring showers throughout the region. So grab an umbrella as you're heading out the door on the way to get your breakfast. Down to the south, temperatures are cool. We're looking at 12 degrees through Windsor and 10 degrees through the London area. Joining us for the long range is meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum. And Doug, I have to say I am not loving the cool down that we are going to anticipate this weekend. I'm not.
I'm with you on that. You know, we're losing 1 to 2 degrees of temperature in terms of our seasonal from week to week. So we expect temperatures to get cooler. But next week is going to be a bit of a shock to the system as high temperatures will be cooler than the overnight lows that we've seen during the past week.
Shock to the system is not something I love to hear. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, it is the time of year we kind of have to adjust to it. So we're cool, we're below seasonal, but our friends in the West, they're still soaking up the heat.
But some good news is as we get to the end of the week, this will be pushing into Ontario. But before we get there, unsettled weather on Monday, not an all-day washout, but showers on the increase as we go into the afternoon and evening. Showers linger.
Brisk. Yes. Ooh, I haven't heard that word yet.
Gusty north wind. Temperatures struggle to get into the double digits on Tuesday. And as we go into the middle of the week, the low is going to stall off the east coast. Now, at this point, we think it'll stall far enough to the east that we'll get some sun mixing in with the clouds. We should stay dry. Could see some lake effect showers up near Georgian Bay. But the cool temperatures continue, but there you go.
This is my good news, the milder. So we're going to have to go through a period of below seasonal averages, and then finally that's that warm air from the west.
Right.
That's coming our way. So finally.
Friday.
Oh, it gets better?
It gets above seasonal.
Oh, yay! So wait, does that mean 14?
No, 16, 17 degrees.
Oh, wow. That
Yes.
is, okay, that is really good news to kick off a weekend.
Yes.
So as we get to Friday, we've got above seasonal temperatures. We've got some sunshine. That is really good news. And this is even better news.
Yeah, something's missing from this map. There's no blue.
I was going to say, did you do this right, Doug?
The country gets near to above seasonal. Now, next weekend, we may get a brief interruption back towards seasonal, but overall, the final week of October, a bit of a treat. Above seasonal temperatures, don't know yet if that will reach Halloween, but overall, a mild conclusion to October.
I think we can handle the at seasonal values and the above seasonal values better than the below. Hi there, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday, it is October the 17th, and we've got some really great programming coming up this weekend on the Weather Network. Only on Sundays in October can you catch Angry Planet. Here's a preview of what you'll see. I'm not really sure what would possess anybody to just randomly want to sit on an alligator. No, thank you. Good luck, George. I'm excited to see how the rest of that episode pans out this Sunday, 7 and 10 p.m. It was a cloudy and wet day. You can get showers for the most part. 16 degrees is our daytime high. We still have a southerly wind coming up, which means we're above our seasonal average. Things are going to change starting this afternoon, well, rather this evening and into through the overnight. Winds shifting to more of a northerly direction, which means we are going to cool down significantly as we get closer to the weekend. Quite a bit of cloud cover to start the day for Saturday. We may see a little bit of clearing by the afternoon, but Sunday is the day that you want to head outside. The Scotiabank Toronto Waterfront Marathon is happening, and that is going to be cool but dry. We're only going to be seeing a daytime high of 9 degrees. Absolutely. Thanks, Jacqueline, for all that wonderful information. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It is the 17th of October, and we dealt with our own flash flooding last night in the city. Yeah, if you thought you could drive through it and you couldn't, it was bad. Kevin Yard joins us at the Toronto Snow Show. So we're going from rain to snow in a short period of time. Kevin, how's it going? Thanks, Kevin. Looks kind of like fun a little bit. Fun exercising. All right, we do have a little bit of rain on the way. Some unsettled conditions tonight and into tomorrow. Same cutoff low, cutoff from the jet, stalling out over our area. We're seeing a lot of wraparound from it. We've got a trough that's moving into play by tonight, giving us an extended period of rain. And then we've got our winds shifting to more of a northerly direction, which is going to help cool down our temperatures significantly. We're going to see daytime highs tomorrow below our seasonal average, and then Sunday is going to be very, very chilly. We've got high pressure moving in, but temperatures are going to stay quite cool. And then we've got a new system coming in Monday into Tuesday, giving us more wet weather. So the sunshine is kind of like the middle of the sandwich on Sunday. Now, tomorrow's the last day you can catch Kitchener Waterloo Oktoberfest. So if you're heading out, make sure you bring your umbrella. And on Sunday, we've got the Scotiabank Waterfront Marathon happening. So spectators, make sure you bundle up because we're only going to be seeing a daytime high of 9 degrees for the city of Toronto. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Friday. It's October the 17th. We have a few big stories that we're following here at the Weather Network. One of them being Hurricane Gonzalo. It's a Category 4 right now. Stand by. They may be traveling out to Newfoundland this weekend. So if you do have travel plans, make sure you stay with us throughout the day for frequent updates. Now through the Greater Toronto Area yesterday, it's certainly clearing by the afternoon. Rainfall amounts are not incredibly significant. We're only looking at about 10 millimeters. But again, like yesterday, we could see some localized heavy downpours. We are going to see southerly winds today, but quite a bit of cloud cover, temperatures above seasonal. This trough is going to move through the overnight tonight, bringing us some showers, and the winds behind it much cooler. Northwesterly winds. But we are going to see some high pressure build in throughout the day on Sunday, which is great news. We haven't seen that in a really long time, but it's going to be short-lived. We're going to see lots of sunshine for Sunday, but cooler temperatures. And then Monday, brand new system moves into the GTA. We're going to see some wet weather Monday into Tuesday. It's not going to be until about the middle of next week where we see some sunshine again. Temperatures below our seasonal average. We were busy today on the morning show. If you missed it, we talked about cold core funnel clouds through the city of Toronto and intense flooding that stranded motorists. Kevin Yard went looking for snow, and he found it at the Toronto Snow Show.
Okay, we're watching some of them coming down the hill. Now, I know Emily and Chrissy, you thought I could do this. I couldn't do this. I just had to stay down here and let them go up there. I'm being nice, right? I'm being nice. Whoa, look at that guy.
We were tracking Hurricane Gonzalo, and we'll be tracking the storm all weekend long, so make sure you stay with us here at the Weather Network. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you again Monday morning, 5:30 to 9.